You're listening to the official podcast of Bloodstock Open Air Festival. Bloodstock Radio.
Yes, hello, good evening, and welcome to Bloodstock Radio, the official podcast of the Bloodstock Open Air Festival. Opening you up there with the awesome 10-Ton Slug and their song Matriarch of Slime from their latest EP, Blood and Slime. I'm sure that a lot of you will remember them from Bloodstock 2016 when they played as part of the huge Irish invasion that came over that year. Well, they're going to be coming back over the water again in March with a little run of dates. So they're starting off as guests at the Belfast Metal to the Masses on March the 8th. Then it's over to chilly Jockoland for the 9th, 10th and 11th in Edinburgh, Aberdeen and Glasgow respectively. All three of those dates with the excellent Dog Tired, who you may remember played at Bloodstock in 2014. And then they're heading down south with gigs in Lincoln on March 14th. Then it's Coventry and Manchester the following two nights. That's the 15th and 16th, which very neatly finishes things off on St. Patrick's Day, Saturday, March the 17th, at the wonderful Dev in Camden, London. And there's a very strong possibility that I might pop down there for that one, and I have an inkling that one might get a little bit messy. So try to get to some of those if you can. Okay, so after that very sluggish start to the show... Hi, thank you all. Let's get going with the rest of it. And tonight we're going to be concentrating on lots of other bands that you'll be able to catch live in the next few weeks and months. So here's the first of two band interviews we've got for you tonight. Later on we'll be catching up with the awesome and the equally lovely Suma. But before that, the other night I had a little chat with a band that played on the New Blood stage at Bloodstock 2017. And they've got their debut EP coming out imminently. So let's have a listen to what they had to say right here on Bloodstock Radio.
The Big Interview.
Okay, this is Squatter on Bloodstock Radio. And next up, we're having a chat to Ryan, or Bear, as pretty much everyone knows him, from Thoom. How are you doing, sir?
I'm very good, sir. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. Yes, all good. We're back up and rolling again with the podcasts and that. So, yes, getting back into the swing of things now. This is the third one that we've done so far this year. So I've woken up from my winter slumber.
As have I too, being a bear, coming out of hibernation.
That's exactly what I was thinking about. So I get all the links in there all the time.
There you go.
So so you've got a new EP coming out. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. But don't get your plugs unless you do your Bloodstock stuff first. Okay. So of course we'll talk about the Bloodstock connections first. So you guys played at Bloodstock in 2017. You played the festival.
We did.
So we did. New Blood stage. How did that go? Did you get a good crowd and everything?
Yeah, it was amazing. And it's one of those things. It's one of those things that you do, and you come off afterwards, and just the build up was for so long, so many months. And just when we played it was amazing to come off and say we've done it. The crowd was amazing. Everybody was really into it, and the tent seemed to fill up really nicely, which is great. And we were fairly early on in the day as well, and still had a good crowd. That was really that was great for us. Confident building, definitely. So.
Yeah, I think a lot of most of the bands that we spoke to, either on Bloodstock TV or on Bloodstock Radio, that play in the New Blood, the crowds in there are definitely getting more and more, aware of the bands that are going on in there. Because it used to be more that they'd sort of listen on the way past and just sort of wander in. But I think, hopefully, with the podcast last year, we sort of helped with the Metal to the Masses winners and that, and sort of plug in the bands a bit. So people started putting them on the Clash Finders and that,
Yeah, no, I agree, and I mean, it shows the amount of talent that's coming through as well. I mean, you go through. I went personally. I did the same thing. I went through, checked all the bands that would come up through New Blood, aside from us, and there were so many. So I'm not surprised that so many people are flocking there now for what's meant to be kind of still roots, ground level stage. Is the quality is amazing. So. I can totally see why they're going there.
Yeah. Okay. So rewind just a little bit. So tell us a little bit about the band for those maybe those who didn't catch you at Bloodstock or haven't heard your stuff before. How long the band been going for? What sort of stuff do you play? Things like
that. So we've been going for probably about 4 or 5 years properly now. But as this current lineup, we've actually gone through a current lineup as most bands probably do. We've been a kind of a solid unit now with this current lineup for a couple of years, so probably about 2.5 years. We're a sludge. I say sludge, kind of sludge groove, a metal band from Bournemouth, but we definitely like to have a influence of other metal genres in there as well. Anything that we listen to, I think, rubs off on our writing style, and definitely comes through in the songs, I'd like to think.
Okay, cool. Well, we'll be listening to one of the songs at the end of the interview. So we'll go on to that now. So, actually, no. What we'll do is we'll go to your other, because you have more than one Bloodstock string to your bow, which is that you are also a Metal to the Masses promoter down there in Bournemouth, yeah?
I am indeed. I'm proud.
Yes, indeed. So at the Anvil, where you are the manager, I must say I do like the Anvil. I've been to a few gigs there over the last few years, and it is a rather nice little place.
Yeah, we're small and intimate and raucous, and I think that's a good way to go.
Yeah. So last year, you're no Metal to the Masses down in Bournemouth this year to try and get a little bit of that churn. I think they try to sort of have a bit of a gap year sometimes, don't they? So to get newer bands,
Yeah. It's always good to refresh the talent pool a little bit. I think. Obviously, not do the same thing over and over again. I think is best for everybody. I wouldn't want to do it for the sake of doing it. I think, and I think Bloodstock would feel the same. So
yeah. So so to rewind to last year a bit, then Seethe and Akira were your winners from what I can remember. That went through from that. So how did the competition go? What was what were the highlights of it, and just a general overview for bands that are maybe just coming into it now and just starting off their Metal to the Masses journey this year?
The talent was actually really strong last year. It was funny because Seethe and Akira are actually somewhat not what I would class. I mean, you can't really say like a Bloodstock. There is a Bloodstock band or a Download band, but they're definitely a little bit more different to what Bloodstock fans tend to expect. But that was a good thing, and it was great to see on the forums and stuff. I kind of guess that this just goes to show the evolution of Bloodstock Festival now as well. It was great to see how much, because they are more of I guess they're kind of more steered towards that Skin Dread style, so it's more kind of party metal, I like to call it. Yeah. So it's got a little bit of dance element to it. But it was great to see the reviews, great to see the reaction from them when they played on the stage as well. And great to see the reviews kind of coming off that on the forums and online as well. But yeah, I mean, they were obviously one of a certain amount of bands. There was some really good talent. One of the guys that didn't win this year, who I think are probably going to hopefully do quite well anyway, a band called Victus from Portsmouth. They're another stoner band, very, very I Hate God, Corrosion and Conformity, Down-esque type stuff. They're actually playing our EP launch. But they're great. I think they've just released a new video, which I think they're pushing on the Bloodstock through that Bloodstock video competition right now.
Yeah, cool. All right, well, we'll check them out as well. So, you mentioned your EP there. So, Through Smoke Comes Fire, your debut EP, going to be out February 19th, I believe. So, tell us about how that process has been, and tell us a little bit more about how many tracks have you got on it and stuff like that.
It's been great, actually. It's been a long time coming. It's actually taken a while. We've done it kind of in a longer way than we probably should have done. So we've done it over the course of a year. We've been working with a local guy that we all class as a friend. Obviously commitments do come into the hand. But we're happy. We believed in this guy. We wanted to work with this guy. We believed in his abilities, and I think that comes through on the EP. I think it sounds really good. It's 4 tracks. We've got one instrumental on there, which is supposed to be our intro, but it's still about 5 minutes long. Quite a doomy track, and the rest pick up the pace somewhat, I feel, and push the groove and push the brutality. Which comes across in the end as a whole product. Sounds really, really good in my opinion. And from the reviews we've been getting so far, I'm really blessed with the reaction we've been getting so far, and I hope it continues.
Yeah, cool. There's also some rather epic artwork. I'm literally looking at it on my screen now at the moment. The artwork on it is absolutely incredible. So tell us a bit about that.
It's a guy actually from Florida called Eric. He's Dry River Art. We found him on Instagram. When it comes to stoner music, stoner, doom, sludge, all that kind of stuff, and then metal in general, but seemingly more so with that genre these days, it seems that the music and the art go hand in hand. And we definitely wanted something that was, that stood out and that was, beautiful, I guess, in the way to put it. I mean, it's quite striking artwork. It's really good. This guy's, pretty unknown guy from Florida. I'm really hoping that more people see his work, and from this, I'm hoping that it gets him more work, because a guy with a talent like that really needs to be discovered. Because, I mean, as you can see, it's pretty damn good looking.
Yeah, it is indeed. So you've got a few gigs coming up in the near future. So you're Portsmouth next week on the 3rd at Icebreaker Festival.
Yeah, Icebreaker Festival. Yeah, we're playing. We're playing with Morass and Masses, which would be great. Another Bloodstock favourite.
Indeed, excellent band. And then you've got your EP launch that you mentioned earlier there at the Anvil there on February the 10th. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, excellent. And then I believe you've got a little bit of a mini tour coming up in March. Yeah.
We do, off the back of the EP. We're trying to, get out there and see some more people. So yeah, we're doing an EP launch tour in March, going to Weymouth, and just to book up the Cobblestones as well in Bridgewater, which is an awesome up and coming venue. London and Anvil, and another one as well. So it's going to be good. We're looking to get out there. We're playing with a couple of shows as well on that, and Bristol as well. We're playing with a band called Tuskar, which are a great band, great two-piece, and again another up and coming band. I wouldn't be surprised if you see more of very soon. Yeah. We're really looking forward to getting out there and just playing. We're going to be playing the EP in its entirety. Just as it comes on the EP, so we're just really looking forward to getting out there and playing that as a show.
Yeah, cool. So, and then a little bit later on in the year, in April 22nd, Simon Yarwood's got you up at Leicester for the Metal to the Masses guest for his one of his rounds. Yeah,
he has indeed. He has. Yeah. It's gonna. I can't wait to go to Leicester. Actually, I've heard a lot about the Firebird.
Yeah, Firebird ace venue. I've spent a lot of drunken nights in there with Simon. It's got to be said, but it's it's a cracking venue, and and the Leicester Metal to the Masses is one of our sort of showcase events. They're really sort of taken the mantle on over the last few years with the big final he has at Uprising at De Montfort Hall and that sort of thing. So it's a big event to be a part of, and I like it when I see the other Metal to the Masses, regions sort of inviting other bands that have got links with the different metals. Is that like the whole sort of Metal to the Masses family, isn't it?
Yeah. All of this having everything to do with Bloodstock really mainly is community, isn't it? That's why we love it.
Yeah. Indeed. Okay, well, excellent. Well, I hope that goes really, really well. As I say, what I've heard of the EP is absolutely fantastic. So we'll finish off and listen to a bit. We're going to hear the song called Worthless, and I'll let our listeners know this is available on Bandcamp, and it's one of those that's pay what you like, but do pay something, for God's sake. Don't be a complete skinflint. Have a listen to this. It's 7 odd minutes of amazingness. So, if you like it, go and get it, but give them a few quid, eh? Come on, look at all that touring they got to do. Cheers for talking to us,
Thank you for having us, Paul. And you do a fantastic job. Keep up the good work, man.
Cheers, mate. No worries. Okay, that was Bear from Thoom, and we are going to listen to this. And for just to start you off at the beginning of this track, what I'd like you to imagine is a big sleepy bear in bed, and just look at him just hibernating, and then he gets out and he's walking across the floor, and just at the very beginning of it, he stands on a plug.
this is Kev Bauer from Hell, and you're listening to Bloodstock Radio.
Okay, so that was Worthless from Thoom. And as we said in the interview there, you can get that on their Bandcamp right now. That's thoom.bandcamp.com. That's THUUM. And thanks to Ryan the Bear for talking to us there. Apologies for waking you, sir. You can go back to sleep for a few more months now. Okay, next up, speaking of new releases, I'm sure you've all heard many divided opinions about the new Machine Head album, Catharsis, which was released this week via our friends at Nuclear Blast. So half of you are probably going to be cursing me for the next 4.5 minutes, while the other half will be delighted. They will, of course, be touring the album. They'll be over here in the UK in May. And also heading over to these shores, but in the very near future, are Soil, along with Alien Ant Farm. They're going to be in Bristol on Tuesday, and then go on to London, Manchester, Norwich, Leeds, Birmingham, Dublin, Belfast, Glasgow, Newcastle and Nottingham before they head off to mainland Europe. So check those dates out and get to see them if you can. We'll shortly be hearing a song from their recent greatest hits album, Scream the Essentials. But before that, it'll be a track from that brand new Machine Head album called Beyond the Pale. And before that, we've got this week's Metal to the Masses news coming right up.
Metal to the Masses update.
Okay, folks, this is June reporting for Metal to the Masses for the Devon and Cornwall area. We have our first heat coming up on February the 6th with bands Who Saw the Light, Abandon the Weak and Dead Fly. That's February the 6th. At Livewire in Saltash. Doors open at 7 p.m, so get yourselves down there, support your local metal, and we'll see you there.
This is Chris from Metal to the Masses Coventry. Heat 4 saw This Burning Age and When the Wolf Comes Home progress to the semi-finals. Heat 5 this Sunday, we will see 2 more bands progress to the semis. Also on Sunday, we will announce the wildcard bands for our Heat 6. The wildcard is our, what you would call the last chance to the dance show, where we bring back a handful of bands that judges and the promoters feel deserve a second chance at the semi-finals. Doors are at 7 p.m. Cheers, folks.
Mortishead are humbled to be back for the second consecutive year running Metal to the Masses Bristol. Last year we made some long-term friends and got to see so many great bands networking with each other whilst also encouraging each other in their joint efforts to reach Bloodstock. In the end, it was Embodiment who emerged victorious and went on to play the New Blood stage. This year's Bristol Heat start in February, next month. Who will progress all the way to the final and then on to Bloodstock? Only time will tell. If you're interested in competing in Bristol, find us on the M2TM Bristol Facebook page or email us at m2tmbristol@gmail.com. We keep our applications open all the way until the heats are finished, so if you're still thinking of entering, get in touch as soon as possible.
Emancipation beyond the Hey, Beavis, what are you doing? I'm just checking out all these cool Bloodstock videos on their YouTube channel, Bloodstock Festivals. Like, what is it? Bands and stuff? Oh, yeah. There's tons of footage from last year's festival and the Bloodstock TV band interviews as well. Whoa, is that Squatter? I'd recognize that bald head anywhere. Yeah. He gets to talk to Megadeth, Anthrax, and Mastodon and loads of cool bands. Footprints in the Custard. They sound cool. Yeah. An evil scarecrow, too. Look. Crabulon. Beavis, those are the YMCA moves, dumbass. Oh, yeah.
So that was Soil with Halo, and you can catch them live here in the UK over the next few weeks. And before that, we had Machine Head with Beyond the Pale from their new album Catharsis, and they'll be over here in May. And apologies to those of you who weren't too keen on that one, but hey, I'm sure you'll live. Okay, onwards, and another band that you can catch live a lot sooner than that, namely tomorrow night, is my beloved Suma. They are playing at the Star Inn in Guildford tomorrow with support from Flies Are Spies from Hell and Zero. Doors are at 8 p.m, tickets are just £5.50, and I will indeed be in attendance. But if you can't make it to that, then they're also playing on Saturday in that their London town, but that's as part of a much bigger event. It's the 8 Years of Chaos All-Dayer. That's at the Brewhouse in Hackney from 2 p.m. until 2 a.m. They've got about 16 bands playing. Tickets still available for that for about 16 quid, but it'll be 25 quid on the door. So if you fancy that one, act fast. And trust me, Suma are one of the best live bands around at the moment. I can't wait to see them again tomorrow night. As I said on the preview video earlier, they're not my usual type of thrashy listing, but their album is just superb, and somehow their live show is even better. Anyway, I went to see them not too long ago down in London, and we had a little catch-up and a few drinkies as well. So let's have a quick listen to that, and then we'll have one of my favourite tunes of theirs. This is Bloodstock Radio, and it's Squatters fanboy time. Yet again. Ha ha ha.
Band chat.
Okay, next up it's Squatter here on Bloodstock Radio. We're having a catch up with the guys from Suma. How are we, guys?
Hello, Squatter. How are you?
I'm alright, not too bad, yeah.
Better for seeing you.
Yes. So, yes, we'll have a bit of a review of 2017 and then sort of see what plans are going on for 2018. So, you're a bit quiet last year, 2017, yeah? I saw you a couple of times, but, you know.
We didn't do a great deal. We played some pretty awesome gigs with some pretty amazing bands. It may have felt a bit quiet towards the end of the year because we've been concentrating on writing and been slightly out of the gigging for a little while.
Yeah.
So yeah. It's a bit quiet, but some amazing gigs with like Voda we played with at Dingwalls a couple of months back, and it was amazing.
Yeah. I know. I was supposed to be coming to that one. I can't remember. I was somewhere the weekend before, and I was still hungover from it, I think, or something like that.
It was amazing. You missed a belter.
Okay. Yeah. And the other big news towards the end of last year was signing up with Incendia Music. Yeah. So that kind of went management side of things.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I can be a hermit musician now. Like having done a lot of that stuff.
I must admit, I have very little knowledge of who does what in things. So, you know, you get booking agents, you get managers, you get PR. I never know who does what. So what does getting a management team mean? Does that mean basically you guys just concentrate on the music?
Yeah, basically. I mean, it's like everything that a band has to do by themselves up until someone starts doing it for them, basically.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's pretty. It's difficult doing that and like splitting your head into creative mode and like I guess basically business mode, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it is a business. You've got to run it like a business, otherwise you won't go anywhere. We all know that.
It's pseudo business.
Yeah.
You know,
because you've got a good product. See, if you've got a good product, then you're all right. See, and your music's fantastic.
You should be in business.
Yeah. Fine, but yeah, for us.
Yeah. So you signed up with the lovely Lulu at Incendia.
Indeed.
So what do you think that they're going to bring for you then? Because
a Learjet,
spare time,
and
less stress.
Yes.
No. She's got it nailed down, hasn't she? She's great. You sort of maybe measure what she's doing by how much you see her online presence and all of the bands that she manages. And Broodtie were doing incredibly well last year, and obviously they're on the roster and stuff. So
So do you actually have to do you do a bit of research? Maybe talk to some of the other bands, stuff like that?
No, we just met her down the pub. No, of course. Tim spoke,
because it's a big decision, isn't it? Really.
I know Broodtie anyway, just through like casual acquaintance and things. So
we played,
so they're fine. And we've actually known Lulu for quite a few years, but never for some reason like chatted to her about management or anything. And so anyway, things come around, and I guess it's about timing as well, because we released an album a decade ago, like 3 years
long time ago,
and we're just getting to that point where we're ready for like a next cycle on it, on album 2, and so it's the right time for
we need help,
someone to come on. We
otherwise
need
we'll kill one another.
We're having a good time.
Well, while we're mentioning the old album, let's call it the Animal You Are, because obviously we're going to be seeing you guys playing later on, but that is my Tube album. So basically, when I'm on the Tube, I always listen to your album, because sometimes you need a bit heavy, you need a bit this, you need a bit that, but it's got a bit of everything. So on the Tube, it's kind of my sort of shut myself away from all the weirdos that are on the Tube sort of album. But tonight I get to sort of listen to it and then get off the Tube and then think, now I'm going to hear it for real. Excellent.
Lucky.
That's good. We'll do your gig on the Tube one day.
Get the old busking.
Daily commute.
Bit of busking. Get Lulu on the case. Get your busking license, stuff like that.
Who knows? It might turn to that.
Cool. Excellent. Well, so onto the new album then, I suppose. So have we got any sort of timescales? Whereabouts are you with things at the moment?
Well, tell you the mic is being pushed towards Toby, who doesn't have a clue.
I don't think any of us have a clue, really.
So, basically, like a single in the first quarter of next year, and then album will be. The plan is loosely to have something out like summer.
Summer in summer.
That works out quite well. Have you got any sort of sneak preview? I know you have some rather funky working titles for your songs usually, I remember.
Yeah, we do. We're playing one with a slightly less funky working title tonight, so first time we've ever played it live. So I'm a ball of nerves. Everyone else is a ball of nerves, but less vocal about it. It's fine. Top loading the set with it, so we finish on a high note.
Yes, exactly. Get it out of the way. We've got to start doing it sooner or later, and it's
good.
Just get going.
Good. Well, I look forward to hearing it. So get yourself some more gigs booked as well. So you can use that enormous backdrop of yours as well. You need to get some really big ones so that you can. That's not quite going to fit.
Is Wembley available?
That's not quite going to fit on here tonight, is it? I don't think.
Not quite.
That was a bad purchase choice.
No, it looked great.
It was a statement of ambition, I guess. Maybe. What an awful thing.
Cool. Well, we'll finish off with some music, but before we go, there was something else that I saw on your timeline a few weeks ago about being on Yorkshire television. How were you on Yorkshire television? How did that work?
Well, apparently, we are playing a gig next year for
Staxtonbury Rocks.
Say again?
Staxtonbury Rocks.
Staxtonbury?
By BTH.
That sounds like right north.
BTH Promotions asked us to play. I think they asked us to play a show already, but then we couldn't do it, or it got cancelled. So we're going for the next show. But I think they've got that Assenvale playing. The guys that look like. I was going to say.
And Exist Immortal as well.
Exist Immortal, yeah. So anyway, they got asked to be on like the Yorkshire version of ITV or something. Okay. So we were on telly for 5 minutes.
All right.
Flat cuts and pigeon rest.
Yeah, excellent. Get your whippets out. Marvellous.
Oh, lad.
Excellent. Cool. All right. Well, we'll leave it at that, and we'll
Thank you, Paul.
Listen to some of your music. What should we play? Go on. Choose something off the album. Pinch Cut. Yeah, excellent choice. Well done. Brilliant. Love that song. Thanks very much. Thanks to the guys from Sumo. We'll see more of you 2018.
Thank you very much.
This is Pinch Cut.
be alright. I cannot wait another while. Pulling between my head and my heart. It's learned to regret this. Time carries on. I cannot wait. I'm desperate to take this one step to the sea.
This is Cy Keeler from Onslaught. You're listening to Bloodstock Radio.
Okay, that was the awesome Suma with Pinch Cut from their fantastic album, The Animal You Are. And if you thought that sounded great, get yourself onto YouTube and check out the live version of that and the other tracks they played on the New Blood stage at Bloodstock in 2015. I was there for that set, and it was the best performance I saw all weekend, which really is saying something, considering I saw just under 50 bands that weekend, including all 22 of our Metal to the Masses winners, some of which have become my favourite bands now, like Animator and Deified and Black and Ritual and Forgotten Remains, and just loads of them. Suma were just incredible, though, and they have been every time I've seen them since, so check them out. Anyway, that's enough fanboying from me. We're just about at the end of the show, but I will just quickly remind you all that although all the VIP packages have gone, weekend tickets for Bloodstock 2018 are still available, but they are selling fast. There are links to the tickets page all over our Bloodstock Radio post, so make sure you get yours soon and don't miss out. And speaking of Bloodstock 2018, you may have seen the latest Metal Hammer with our Sunday night headliners Nightwish on the front and a nice feature on them inside. We've got our full lineup poster on the back, and we've also got our very own Vicky Hungerford, who was interviewed for a feature in there on sexism in the music industry, so make sure you check that out too. Okay, we're finishing off with another of the bands that have been announced for Bloodstock 2018, and I can almost feel you all out there hoping and praying it's going to be one of the bands that you're really looking forward to seeing. Will it be Emperor, I hear you cry? Will it be Camelot? Maybe some Septic Flesh? Well, I'm going to leave it to these two reprobates to tell you. Just don't blame me, because it was them that chose it. I'm personally hoping for some suicidal tendencies. Okay, see you next week, folks.
Whoa! Did you see that Mr. Big are playing Bloodstock this year?
Yeah, they rule. Hey, Squatter, play some of their music for us.
Yeah, they kick ass. I'm the one who wants to be with you. Deep inside, I hope you feel it too.
Hold on, little girl. Show me what he's done to you. Stand up, little girl. A broken heart can't be that bad when it's through. It's through. Fate would twist of both of you. So come on, baby, come on over. Let me be the one to show you. I'm the one who wants to be with you. Deep inside, I hope you'll feel it too. Feel it too. Waited on a line of waited on a line just to be the next to be with you. Build up your confidence so you can be on top for once. Wake up, who cares about little boys that talk too much? I've seen it all go down. Your game of love was all rained down. So come on, baby, come on over. Let me be the one to hold. I'm the one who wants to be with you. Yeah. Deep inside, I hope you'll feel it too. Feel it too. Waited on a line up. Waited on a line. Yeah, just to be the next to be with you. Why be alone when we can be together, baby? You can make my life worthwhile. I can make you start to smile. When it's through, it's through. Fate would twist of both of you. So come on, baby, come on over. Let me be the one to show you. I'm the one who wants to be with you. I'm the one. Deep inside, I hope you'll feel it too. Feel it too. Waiting on a line of waiting on a line. Yeah, just to be the next to be with you. I'm the one who wants to be with you. Deep inside, I hope you'll feel it too. Waited on a line of waited on that line. Yeah, just to be the next to be with you. Just to be the next to be with you.
By the fans, for the fans. Bloodstock Radio.